Welcome back to TheWindowDog.com. Today, we're going to interrupt our regularly scheduled programming due to a comment we recently received on the website from a Bob Gardner. So Bob, I really thank you for posting your recent comment. Now, the topic Bob posted about was lifetime window warranties. Now, you'll frequently find that there is a certain window company out there that will tell people that a lifetime window warranty is not actually good for a lifetime. They'll act like there's a secret to lifetime window warranties that they know about and nobody else does, and luckily for you, they will tell you all about it. So we're going to get into this topic. We're going to look at what is true about what they're saying and what is not true about what they're saying, and how long a lifetime warranty is actually good for. Then at the end, I'm going to tell you about a customer I knew who fell into a trap of getting a much shorter warranty than he expected, and how you can avoid that fate. So let's get into it. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan Schweiss, and my website is TheWindowDog.com. It is the greatest source of replacement window information on the entire internet. And my company is Window Universe. We offer windows all over the country. We are the absolute easiest way to get new windows for your house. If you have a window project in mind, I would suggest checking out both of those things, and you can find links down below in the description to do that. So talking about lifetime warranties, I think it's easiest if we start out by telling you where this idea comes from. And where it comes from is pretty simple. There is one company out there that operates in many areas of the country, and they go around telling people that lifetime warranties do not actually last for a lifetime. Now, this company, believe it or not, it shouldn't come as a surprise, offers warranties that are not lifetime warranties. Now, they'll tend to sell their products for 2 or 3 or even 4 times what other companies might sell their products for. And this company has a shorter warranty. So they'll have a much higher price and a shorter warranty. As you'd expect, that would be a hard sell. The way they try to overcome that objection from customers is to say, hey, those other companies that say they have lifetime warranties are lying to you. It's not actually a lifetime warranty, Mrs. Jones. Don't fall for that trick. Now, unfortunately, there's very little truth to their claim. You see, this company used to only offer a 10-year warranty on their window frames while they were telling customers this whole story about these great window frames they had. Nobody else has window frames as good as our window frames. You know, this can be a funny business. So they're doing all this. They're selling these windows at $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 a pop, and they only had a 10-year warranty. So what they were effectively telling you back then was, if you buy these warranties for such an enormous price, you'll have to buy them all over again in 11 years because we don't think they're going to hold up any longer than that. Obviously, if they did think they were going to hold up longer than that, they would have made a longer warranty. Well, after we picked on them for kind of a little while and made a big deal about it, they changed their warranty, and now they offer a 20-year warranty on their window frames, which is substantially better, and we commend them for doing that. I think that really provides a much better service for their customers. But you'll notice it's still not a lifetime warranty, so their salespeople are still out there telling people that actual lifetime warranties are in fact no good. There's a big secret involved here, and everybody knows about it but you, Mrs. Jones, and luckily for you, I'm here to tell you the truth today. Now, again, this is a funny business, so luckily, you don't have to believe anybody. We find customers in your position are oftentimes faced with conflicting information, and it's hard to know who to believe. Both of the people telling me these things seemed knowledgeable, they seemed professional, they didn't seem like they were full of baloney, but they're telling me 2 things that are directly different. Obviously, only one of them can be right, but it's very hard to know. So I started posting on the website years ago about this, telling all these salespeople that if there is in fact some secret law that limits the term of lifetime warranties, they should be able to find that law and post it on the site and show us. And if they could, I told them I would very quickly post an apology video about the error of my ways and publicize the fact that lifetime warranties were not lifetime warranties. Well, believe it or not, nobody ever posted that because it's not true. You see, the thing about laws in our country is that they're public. It's very easy to just look up what the laws are. So if the salesman's out there telling you that it's a law that lifetime warranties are only actually good for, say, 7 years, the question would be, okay, great, show me where I can find that law. Now, you'll notice very quickly that they cannot show you that because that is not, in fact, a law. But that's how they frame it. They always say it's a local issue. They say, well, actually, in New York State, Mrs. Jones, you may not be aware, but lifetime warranties are only good for X period of time. Or they'll say, actually, in Colorado, or actually in Wyoming, or in Arkansas, or in Tennessee. It's not true anywhere. It's just not. But the comment we got on the website the other day that I thought was so good showed that the way these companies might try to prove this to you. A lot of times what they'll do is take information that sort of relates to their claim and say, see, it says right here. even though it doesn't in fact say anything right there. But they're trying to just dispel this notion so they can move on to the next bullet point in their sales pitch. So Bob posted an article. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen so you can see it. You see this right here. This is an article from the Denver Post, and it says lifetime warranties usually expire sooner than you think. And this is the exact kind of a link that these salesmen might use to justify their claims. Now, if you read through it, you'll find that it's not talking about the same thing this salesman's talking about, but he's not going to let you get bogged down in the details. He's just going to give you a wink and a smile. So the crux of this article is a nice lady named Tina Fulford who ordered windows from a company called WindowLux in Littleton, Colorado, and they were installed in her home in Thornton, Colorado. My little sister lives in Thornton, Colorado. It's a beautiful place. So what happened to this poor lady is that she bought these windows and the salesman told her that they came with a lifetime glass breakage warranty. But it sounds like she did not get that lifetime warranty in writing. The salesman just made her an assurance, and it turns out it was actually a 5-year warranty that these windows had. So when her window broke greater than 5 years later, she calls up this company and says, hey, I had lifetime glass breakage warranty. I want to get this fixed. Well, in the meantime, the owner of that company had moved to Florida and sold the business. The new guy bought this company in 2014. He doesn't know anything about what they were doing before then. And there's no warranty. He said the warranty is 5 years. That's the warranty. You know, if you want, we can charge you for new sashes. Now, I called up the owner of this company, and I would not suggest you do because he doesn't need to be bombarded with phone calls, but all it takes is a Google search. I called up the owner of this company yesterday and talked to him about it. And he was pretty clear that he bought this company in 2014. He doesn't have any idea what happened before then. They don't carry any of the same windows they carried back then. The warranties the customers have would be from the manufacturer of those products, and they would want to bring that up with those manufacturers. So while the article is saying that the lifetime warranty doesn't mean lifetime, it's not exactly true. What the article should be saying is that the salesman told the customer the product had a lifetime warranty when the product in fact only had a 5-year warranty. The warranty was clear, the salesman was not. So this was a case of a salesman lying to a customer, which unfortunately happens all the time, but it was not a case of a lifetime warranty only being good for 5 years. So an important distinction. Now, it's as you read through this article, and you can find a link to this on our website in the description down below, but as you read through this article, you'll see a couple of other interesting things. They'll talk about the way some warranties will be limited when they transfer, like it mentions Champion Windows having a warranty that's only good for 1 year after it transfers. I didn't know that to be the case, and this article is a little bit old, so maybe that's different now, but it does mention that. You can see that right here. So the point here, though, is not that the lifetime warranty was only good for 5 years. The point was the salesman made a claim that was not backed up by the actual warranty. So big distinction. So now let's look at a couple of actual warranties. This one here is an all-side window warranty, and this is what you would get with an all-side fusion window. Now that is kind of a lower to medium grade type product. It's not a product my company would generally recommend. If my friend came to me and said, hey Dan, I'm thinking about getting these all-side fusion windows, what do you think? My answer would typically be, you could probably find something a little bit nicer. It's not the nicest window in the world, and that's why I wanted to use it as an example, because this isn't just some high-end window thing. Even cheaper windows come with real lifetime warranties. So when you read the warranty here, and we're a little bit zoomed in, but when you read the warranty right here, it says all-side the manufacturer of these windows makes available to the original purchaser-present property owner the lifetime limited warranty, warranting all-side vinyl window systems for as long as the property owner shall own and live in the property at the stated property address. So see, I'll highlight it right there. That's how long this warranty is good for. So it's good for as long as you own and live in this house. Very clear. There's no ambiguity, there's no mystery, there's no secret 7-year term. It says so right there. And you'll find legal documents tend to mean exactly what they say, and this one is pretty clear. And we can even look at another example. This is a Simonton Reflections 5500 window warranty. And that's a product we've reviewed on the website before. It's not my favorite window product in the world, but it's perfectly nice. And there have certainly been thousands and thousands of them installed. They've been available for years and years. And if we scroll down, I thought this was a good example here. You can see the Simonton window replacement lines. So we're looking at the Reflections 5500 window model right there. And if we look, now this has a prorated schedule on the insulated glass unit. So if you look at the insulating glass unit, it's 20 years to lifetime prorated for a residential project. And we'll look at it here. We see 100% coverage for years 0 to 20. Then we'll see 75% coverage from years 21 to 50. So if you had a seal failure on your Simonton Reflections 5500 window 35 years after you bought them, Simonton will cover 75% of the cost. That's not bad. Now, other companies will be better. That all-side window warranty we looked at before is not prorated at all, so that's better. But still, that's pretty good, 75% for years 21 to 50, and then 50% coverage for years 51 to lifetime. So what they're saying here very clearly is that lifetime is greater or can be greater than 51 years. So you could buy a house when you're 25 years old, and when you're 80 years old, if you get moisture in between the panes of your glass, Simonton will cover that 50% of the cost. So that's a pretty decent coverage. So when the window salesman out there that has the short-term warranty tells you that actually lifetime warranties are only good for 7 years here in Colorado, just know that that's not true. It's just false. And if they can send you some documentation to prove that that's true, I would love it if you could send it to me. Now, I know we get a lot of visitors on the website who are window industry professionals. We get a lot of window salespeople. They're typically not very shy about telling me how wrong I am about things. So if you think I'm wrong about this, post a link in the description. If you're in Illinois and you think there's an Illinois state law that limits the term of a lifetime warranty, post a link to it. And if I'm wrong, I will gladly make a video saying how wrong I was and how right you were. You can even post it anonymously if you'd like. But you'll find that we're not going to see that content. The very, very most significant thing we'll see, I'm sure, is more articles like that Denver Post article that aren't really accurately explaining the situation. But maybe I'll be wrong, and if so, I would love to hear from you. So that's our video for today, folks. When a company tells you a lifetime warranty is not actually good for a lifetime, they're generally not being honest with you, and it's important that either they can prove that claim or you should just cross them off your list. There's really no need to give your money to a company that's going to lie to you right up front. If they're lying to you about that one thing, they're probably lying to you about other things. And why on earth would you spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on a home improvement project with a company that's just trying to deceive you from the get-go? Now, there is a certain circumstance where a lifetime warranty might be much more limited than you expect, and that is if the manufacturing company were to go out of business. Unfortunately, in the window industry, that happens with some frequency, and it really is something to watch out for. A good example of this is Gorel Windows. For a period of time, Gorel Windows was the darling of the internet. These gurus out there, they just loved Gorel Windows. All of the pushy, sort of smarmy, high-priced salespeople were selling Gorel windows. Everybody was convinced they were just the greatest windows in the whole wide world, and they were out there telling customers about this every single day. Now, their windows were perfectly nice. There was certainly nothing wrong with them. They were very fine windows. Certainly not any better than what you'd get from other companies, but on the higher end of things, no doubt. Unfortunately, what happened is after some period of time, Gorel Windows went bankrupt. Now, the story I heard was that they had a rash of warranty claims and they couldn't cover all the cost of remaking all these products, and their only option was to close their doors. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that they went bankrupt. And everybody who took the advice of these salespeople and bought these Gorel windows was now stuck with no warranty, no access to replacement parts, no service. And unfortunately, that can happen from time to time in this business. I've been doing this since 2004, and I've seen that happen many times. So when you're buying new windows, it is important to pay attention to who is the manufacturer of these products and how substantial are they. It's pretty easy for some executive at a window company to just split off and say, that's it, I'm done with you guys. I'm going to start my own window manufacturing company and make all the money myself. Well, it doesn't take a lot. It takes kind of a big warehouse and some equipment that you can probably buy secondhand. There's engineers and companies that will outsource the design services, so these guys don't have big engineering departments or anything. And then they get a brochure made by a very nice marketing company, so they have a beautiful glossy brochure. They have a nice looking product with good energy efficiency ratings, and bam, they're in the window business. And they go out there and sign up a couple of dealers. These window dealers in your town are always looking for a new product. They always want to be the only guy in town that sells product X. That they think that's the only way they can make any money, is the only way they can charge $1,500 a window is if they're the only game in town to get these products. They think if there's 2 or 3 companies in town offering the exact same product, it will be very hard for them to make any money, so they don't want to do that. So they really want to buy windows from these tiny little manufacturers because those guys are likely to have very limited distribution. So not to get too far into the weeds, it's not very hard for this new window manufacturing company to sign up some dealers around the country to carry their product. And instantly there's guys out on the street knocking on your door, coming in to give you a free window quote with this new thing that's the greatest product in the whole wide world. Now, from your standpoint, it looks nice. The brochure looks good. The sales pitch was good. The sample window he brought looked very nice. Maybe he had a heat lamp, or he's bouncing a golf ball off the glass, or they'll do all these cool tests in your house to make you say ooh and ah. And from your perspective, how on earth would you know if this thing is good or bad? It sure looked good in the sales pitch. So you buy it. And then a handful of years later, you have some problem, and it turns out that company doesn't exist anymore. They're bankrupt. There's no way to get their parts, and you're out of luck. And unfortunately, that happens a lot. So there are a lot of people out there that thought they had lifetime window warranties that in fact don't, and it's because they trusted some of these window salespeople that were selling windows from these tiny little manufacturers. So as an example, my company will generally only recommend larger, more well-established manufacturers to avoid this fate, and never in all of our years have we ever sold products from a company that ended up going bankrupt, and we sure hope that streak continues. But it is very important as you're evaluating the choices to know that products that might be recommended by some salesperson or by some anonymous blogger on the internet that aren't actually worth anything. And unfortunately, people who take that advice tend to get a less than ideal result when that company vanishes. So important to look at the manufacturer, the history, and the size and scope of this company. If it's some little outfit with one little plant in the Midwest somewhere, and who knows, where they're going to be in 5 years, my advice to you might be to think twice about that. Not to say every company is going to go out of business. They're not. But if you looked at the 4 or 5 companies that are sort of the sales darlings right now, I would bet you in 5 years, at least 1 or 2 of them isn't going to exist. And the people taking that advice are going to be out of luck at that point. And it's not ideal. We don't relish in that fact. That's not something that makes anybody happy, but it is something that happens. So looking at the strength and the stability of the manufacturing company is a reasonable thing to do as you're shopping for new windows, because you really do need them to be around for the long haul. If you have a problem with your window 5 years down the road and you need to get a replacement, you're going to need that company to exist. In the future, we have some cool new videos coming up. We're going to be doing one soon on condensation on your new windows, how to avoid it, why you might see condensation on your new windows or why you might not. That'll be an interesting one. We're also going to be making a video on foam in your windows. You'll see foam inside the frames of windows. You'll see foam around the frames of windows. You'll see foam inside the spacers in the glass in windows. Salesmen love to talk about foam in the windows, so we're going to dive into some of that. A lot of cool new stuff coming up. So hit the old subscribe button down below so you don't miss out, and we will see you guys next time.